Yay, here we are. Excuse me. A little bit of a dry throat today. So today we're going to talk about email marketing magic, messaging magic, and I'll share some tips with you. I'll most likely only talk for 20 to 30 minutes. Most likely, you know, I have so much information and so much to share, and I don't want to overwhelm people because I do have a tendency to do that. I have been told. Better to overwhelm than underwhelm, but I think either one is out of balance, right? So I want to stay in balance today. And I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes before I really kind of go into the material, and then let some people come in and show up. And we'll kind of bring in the goddess energy, and then we will proceed with the class. And if you have any questions at all, you could type your comments in the chat box. Questions and comments. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if that actually went anywhere. I'm just checking on Facebook to see who might be here. Huh. Can you guys see me and hear me? I'm not seeing myself. I'm also on YouTube as well, on my YouTube channel. I always do that as a second way to, you know, save things. Go see if I can see myself. Okay, yeah, it looks like. Oh, it thinks I'm selling something. Okay, it's always so weird. It's like if you post anything about, you know, book a call or check out this website or check out this class, they think they want you to put like some sort of sales thing onto it. Okay, so I see that I am live. And not really seeing anybody yet, but that's okay. It's about 3 minutes in. It's hot. I'm going to open my window right now. Woo! It's the summertime. It's all that heat. Right? We're goddesses. We're good at making heat. Okay, so whenever you tune into this, it's all good. So I am going to light a candle, light some incense, and anoint myself and call in Venus in particular. I have a very special Aphrodite invocation that was written by Sappho. 2nd, 3rd century BCE. And it's really beautiful. It's very potent, and it will open up the space for us in the most beautiful ways. Okay, so today I have this beautiful green candle for prosperity, calling in the prosperity that you desire, that we all desire, and be very clear about that, right? Let's have clear intentions around what we desire, how much money, what kind of clients we want to come in, what is our ideal work day, all of that stuff is really important. And to proceed with any kind of messaging that you do with, strong intention behind it. Not just putting stuff out there and throwing it around, but really looking at everything you put out, including marketing, as a sacred golden opportunity to heal other people, to connect, right? Because we know it's not all about the money. We love the money. Money is awesome. Money is an amazing, beautiful tool. And we are calling that in. So from the central flame, I'm gonna light my incense here. It's beautiful Japanese rose incense. Clearing the space, calling in our guides, angels, goddess energy. Smells so good. So I'm kind of just cleaning and clearing the space for us and for myself here at my altar that I've created. And I'm going to now I'm dripping some candle wax here so I can take my hand off the candle and let it burn for us while we're in this class. And if you have your own candle there at home, feel free to light it, your own incense, go for it. Okay. Our candle is lit. I have crystals all around like a little mandala. It's really pretty. All right, so if you have any sort of, I also have a blessed ocean water, but I'm going to use my blessed and charged essential oil that I created. This one is called Yemaya. It's got a beautiful piece of honey calcite in it for abundance. But, Yemaya is the ocean goddess mother of the Yoruba, and she came into the New World when the slaves were transported from West Africa. So she's very popular in Brazil and in Cuba. And she's like called the mother of the fishes, the mother of all, the mother of unconditional love. So I'm going to just bless myself. Anointing my different chakras and my wrists. Calling in the sacred energy. Doing it all in a sacred manner. To me, that's super important. And no matter what I'm doing, whether it's copywriting, channeling for somebody, doing readings, doing classes, everything is done with a sacred intention. All right, so I'm going to call in Aphrodite by this amazing piece of poetry by Sappho, who was a high priestess of Aphrodite in ancient Greece, okay? So what I want you to do is close your eyes and start to breathe nice and deep. And exhale out any tension, any stress. Inhaling deeply down into the bowl of your pelvis, and then exhaling, releasing. And as I say each line of this poem, I want you to visualize what you're hearing in that imaginal, juicy way, okay? So you don't have to repeat after me or anything. Just receive the invocation, receive the energy, and feel the energy begin to open, okay? This is how we call in real magic, okay? Aphrodite, leave Crete, come here, come to the holy place. Come to the sacred grove. Your altars are smoking with incense. Cold water sings through the fruited trees, Everything is shaded under the bower of roses. And from the shimmering radiance of leaves, an enchanted sleep drops down. Here is a spring meadow where horses graze and a soft wind gently breathes. Come, Aphrodite, pour your nectar into our golden cups. And at this time, ladies, if you can, raise your arms up with your palms facing up. Pour your nectar into our golden cups. Make the libation and bring your Melissas to life. And feeling this beautiful, golden, abundant energy of Aphrodite coming into your hands, surrounding you, and bring that energy in and put your hands over your heart. And we're going to take a couple of moments of silence as we integrate this energy. Checking in with your body, mind, and heart. And being fully present, leaving your troubles and anything that could distract you outside the door of whatever space you're in. Taking some nice deep breaths. Now we're going to open our crown chakra and our base chakra and clear the central channel that runs up and down the spine and the center of the body. So imagine your beautiful crown chakra becoming a beautiful golden sparkling pillar of light, and it's reaching out from the top of your head. Push it up and up like 300 feet above you, connecting to the stellar vortexes of your own personal power, your own personal cosmos, and you're bringing in more light from this amazing upper region, 300 feet or more above you. And see that beautiful light coming down through this tube now, coming down past your head and your neck, coming down the center of your spine, where it's going through this beautiful tube, this prana tube. And any chakra that might have a little bit of gray or dark residue or feeling stagnant or stuck, just feel the energy coming through, clearing all the way down to your base chakra. And see that energy pooling around your base chakra and the whole bowl of your pelvis filling up with light. And then it begins to spill and overflow down your legs, down your feet, and into the earth, grounding you. So just let this flow go for a moment, just grounding from heaven to earth and clearing that prana tube all the way down, clearing each chakra on the way. Beautiful. How was that for you, ladies? Hi, Sherry. Let's see who else is here. Hi, Gail. Wonderful to see everybody. It looks like there might be 5 people watching, so welcome. Oh, hi, Sierra. Welcome. Yay, you made it. Blessings, and thank you for reminding me to remind everybody. Right? We all need reminders, man. I'm telling you, I finally am starting to get my ducks in a row with my VA, and she's great, but I don't ask her to do enough for me. And that's when I really realized, okay, yeah, I need to have her like help me do more. So her name is Lisa. She's amazing. She's an admin in this group. So hi, Lisa. And yeah, so you might start seeing maybe some more postings from her as well, or, you know, I mean, she can post as me, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think it's going to be a better experience for us all when, you know, when we get more help, right? Just makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to go into our material for today. So this is some of my favorite, like, essentialized goodies and tips about email marketing and messaging. So I have been a writer, a marketing copywriter, mostly for emails, but also for websites and brochures and other, you know, marketing sort of collateral. And I've also written a book of my own, multiple books, and I have also helped to ghostwrite other books. Just to give you some, just a sense of the breadth of work that I've done in writing in this realm. So yeah, 25, maybe 30 years now, I've been doing this. And there's so much to share. So I don't want to overwhelm you. I want to have some balance here. So I'm going to really give you like the top tips and then let you guys ask questions. And, you know, if you can't stay for the whole broadcast, you could always come back later and watch it and then ask questions in the comments. Okay. All right. So today, we're talking about email marketing and messaging tips. And what we're really about in this class and in this group in general is communicating the power of our work, you know, and doing that with ease and confidence and grace. And, you know, putting all of this pleasure to and intention at the center of how we do business, how we go about doing our messaging. So I want to talk for a moment about the importance of email. And, you know, I don't know how many of you have an email list already, but this is, if you are an entrepreneur, you run your own business, or maybe you have a side hustle besides your regular work, or you really want to start a movement. You want to bring people into a revolution that you are leading, right? Because you're a leader of something and of some people. Because we know this. That's how, you know, we're all students, we're all teachers, and we're all leaders too. So how you do your messaging, how you put your work out in the world, it has to be congruent with your, you know, maybe we can call it your personal myth, with your personal legend, you know, from The Alchemist. You know, your personal legend is that thing that you were born to create, that revolution you're born to lead. And I know many of you are healers, and I consider myself a healer. And it could be that you heal through your art. You heal through, you know, selling a beautiful product. You heal through your amazing service as a reader, as a coach, as an acupuncturist, as a massage therapist, as a rune reader, as, you know, whatever it is. And I know for a lot of us, we have multiple streams of income, which is great. I always tell people have multiple streams of income. It never hurts, it only helps. And then the more passive income you can start to create, the better. So email, so important. You own your email list. I've seen a lot of people make this mistake, and it's such a bummer, such a bummer. They build up these amazing, huge Instagram followings or huge Facebook followings, and they never invite people onto a list. And even if you don't have an email list yet, maybe you can create, or you already have a private Facebook group like I have here, where you can go on and teach what you want to teach and talk about what you do, and, start building a community. And then from there, a lot of those people quite possibly will join your email list. So this is the thing. You do not own your social media followers. At any time, any social media channel could become unpopular, could go away, and you could really lose all of those people in an instant. I mean, we've seen this happen before, right? And we know that, Facebook and Instagram and all these different, and now we've got a whole new crop of social media coming up, and I love social media. I do a lot of sales over social media. It's great, but you do not own those people. I mean, you don't own any people, but you don't own their email addresses, right? So whatever email list you start, that is your email list forever and ever, however long you want to keep it. And then, of course, people can always opt out, but you want to be sure to have an email list. And I highly suggest not doing this manually. I know some people, if you're just starting out, you're like, oh, I'll just have like my own, little email list, or like, like just a group on, my Gmail or my Outlook. I've tried and done all those things. It's very difficult to manage. So my suggestion is getting like a MailChimp to start off with, because, I think to start, if you only have an X amount of people, it's free. And then you can move on. I use Aweber now, but there's Entreport. There's a lot of fancy tools. Depending on where you're at in your business, you may not need any of those. But what I do suggest you do is start that email list on MailChimp, on some people use Constant Contact. There's Moosend. There's a lot of different services to use. So definitely invest in that. Invest in the future of your business and your future. So that's going to be our first tip here, is make it your first priority to get people onto your newsletter. And second, get them into a private Facebook group like we have here. Any questions? Let's see. Sherry Grace. Aw. That's the word you were looking for. Sierra, you've been totally dragging your feet on using email for business. Yeah, so I'm just going to tell you right now, you don't want to drag your feet. Flowdesk. I haven't used Flowdesk, and I think that might be an option. I will look into it for you. And then maybe if there's other people here who have used Flowdesk can speak to Sierra's question, that would be great. This is a community. I don't know everything. You don't know everything, but whatever you do know, offer it up to the group. Let's offer up this value to each other. Where was I? Okay, so let's see. I'm going to see where more about what I'm going to talk about here. So we're going to talk about the core outcomes of your work and really writing those down and outlining them. And then make sure your headlines and subject lines capture attention. And then you need to tell people what to do, otherwise known as a CTA, call to action, okay? And I'll post this PDF to the group when we're done here. Okay, I was going to say something to Sierra before jumping into this. Okay, so a lot of us do a majority of our marketing on social media. And I think that's great. And what you can think about is when you're starting an email list, you can basically, I use a lot of the same messages and text copy on my social media that I'm using on my email, right? And then I also have my VA put it on my blog. So that way, there's multiple distribution channels, right? And, email is definitely at the top of that list. And I will tell you so many times, since I started, I was the email marketing manager for GoToMyPC, GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, all the go-to products. And I can't even tell you how many times people are like, your job is going to be, have an expiration date. You should really be like a social media expert. I'm like, well, if you're an email expert, you can, basically at that point learn all the different social medias that you want and become an expert also in those social media channels, right? But so many people like email is going to go the way of the dodo. People aren't going to use it anymore. And I still, to this day, have seen email take, like, I worked for one woman who had maybe 120,000 a year business, and we wrote all this series of emails, and and she had a big funnel. She put $20,000 or more a month into Facebook ads, but we were bringing people into the funnel and serving them a beautiful email series. And that email series, I am not kidding. Plus we did some weekly, just like one-offs, about different healing benefits of her product and da-da-da. So she went from like 120,000 a year to 1.3 million. I think we got her there in about eight months or less. It was fast. I mean, to go like 10 times. But, when you have emails, again, remember talking about passive income, when you have an email series, you are indoctrinating people into your business. You are giving them, maybe a special promotion. There's all different things you can program into an email series, which I want to do a class on that for sure, because that's, again, email is kind of my sweet spot in marketing. And like I said, I've been doing it for a long time. But, having an automated email series can be the difference between a 6-figure business and a 7-figure business. Or, if you're not at 6 figures yet, it could be between, it could get you from $10,000 maybe to $20,000. It's going to at least double your income, your revenue. Okay. And it could even triple it. So whatever level size that you are in your business, having those automated emails is going to push you, over the top in a good way. Sherry, you were talking about private Facebook groups, and say more about automated series examples. Yeah, that's like a whole other animal here. That's like a whole class. I'll go into it after we talk about. So now you can see the importance of email, right? And having a list. So now we want to talk about messaging and distribution. One of the things that I always see is people saying, you could buy this and this from me. I have this amazing product, and it's great. And this is what the product is, and this is how I deliver it. And that's part of what you need to be telling them. But what you really want to tell them is, what are the core outcomes of your work? What are the core outcomes of your products and services? So I kind of look at the core outcomes as the power of your work, the transformation, the high level of transformation it provides, because people will not pay you what you deserve if you can't communicate that. And I am going to give you some examples. So one example would be, picture this: you loving the clients you work with and the transformation you co-create. You loving the rich life that you've created for your family and yourself, so you can take time off whenever you want, take a siesta, head to the beach, get a massage, and hire a chef and a personal trainer without feeling guilty or shamed. You loving the divine self-love, you loving the divine and having that confidence having total congruency when you express your pricing and you share your boundaries and speak your truth. Loving the fact that you're no longer caught up in a toxic spin cycle of lack and desperation, and now know how to create abundance for you and your family. So those are some core outcomes. I can give you some those are examples from some clients. I can give you some more examples of, from my own work. But what I want you to think about is write down the power of how your work transforms your clients. And, I would say come up with 5. The 5 is a good number. And if you want to post those in the group, post them in the group and I'll give you feedback. And I'd love to give you feedback on your copy. And there might be other copywriters in the group, right? Let's see. What else do I want to say about core outcomes? So yeah, these are the results. And you want to try to connect with, who your clients are, and what they're struggling with, and be super specific. Like, you're helping them have confidence, but confidence in what? It's confidence in getting more clients, confidence in, knowing they can communicate, confidence in how they feel when they walk out the door in the morning, and feeling powerful, so start by writing all of those down. And then, you could say, imagine feeling ... and then all of those things. Imagine, you could say, picture this. You can say, you'll feel the power of my work. You'll feel the level of transformation of my work in these ways, or whatever you want to say it. Does that make sense? Okay. Awesome, Sierra. Have fun with your client. And I will talk about some automated series next time. There's different kinds, and different nurturing sequences, welcome sequences, and the more sequences you have pre-programmed, the better off you're going to be in your business. Okay, I'll see you soon, Sierra. Sherry, it makes sense. Sherry, do you have any questions, or does anybody else have questions before I move on? I'll check back in a moment. Okay, so the other point I want to make today is make sure your headlines and subject lines capture attention. So we know that people don't read much anymore, right? They kind of skim. They look at the headlines, or, for an email, it's called a subject line. But it's the same thing as like a headline for your blog, a headline for your video live when you go onto Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. So you want to make sure that, that your headlines and subject lines, give people the goosebumps, or make them raise an eyebrow, like, oh, and make them feel like, they want some profound change. Or you could even use humor. That's another really good, irreverence. Humor is really great for subject lines as well. So I'm going to read just a few examples. And again, I will, post this in the group so you guys can read all this. So here's some examples of headlines and subject lines. Some of these I just went online and found. I did not write all of these, but they're really good. Sherry, you provide a service and you try to use humor. Yeah. That's great. You're ahead of the game, darling. Okay, so some examples. You already know everything. Don't leave before the miracle happens. This is what's possible. Be the one who says yes. I just sent an email with that one. What is a good writer anyway? This one was one of my favorites. This isn't mine. Is your internet penis too small? Who is living your dream? And this one, 10 mantras for people who overwork, overcommit, and are generally terrified of missing out. And then the next one is how to survive when everything sucks. So these are, I think, some great examples. And I know that you can come up with super fun and creative subject lines and headlines. So, before you publish that blog, post the social media thing, or send out the email, my tip is to write up 3 different subject lines and headlines and read them out loud and check again which one gives you the goosebumps, which one's like, oh my God, yeah, I love this one. Really, as we know, when we feel that kind of excitement and enthusiasm about things, that energy is pumped into it, and it's behind the words, it's behind the whole email and the post. So whatever it is that you want to transform in that moment for whoever reads that email or that post, have that intention and align it with the words you're using, align it with the subject lines and headlines, okay? Sherry, you're not always funny, but you're trying to be and you're having fun. That's a good thing. Okay, the final, well, maybe not the final tip, but one of these last tips that I want to share is telling people what to do. So a lot of people, they just post something really beautiful and juicy and amazing and transformative. And then at the end, people are like, oh, that's great, whatever. At the end, there should be what's called a call to action. So that should be at the end of every email, social media post, and blog. There have been a couple of times where I've forgotten to do it. And it just, I think in a way it's a disservice to who your audience is, because at that moment, someone could read that and go, oh my God, I would love to work with this person. And they don't realize that you actually maybe have a business or have some service or product that could help them, right? You've posted something about, a transformation you've had or someone else has had, and you're sharing stories, you're sharing inspiration, but then you're not really sharing the actual solution, right? Hopefully that makes sense. The other thing that I noticed that I've done in the past, and just as to another tip for you guys, is be careful about sharing a process of how you do things. So what often happens is we will, offer a free class or post something and tell people, so, this is how I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and you can do this and follow along. And I mean, those things are fine to a degree, but generally what happens is that people become overconfident. Like, oh, I can just copy what she's doing or what has her process of. I can copy that and then just do this on my own, and I don't need to pay anybody to help me. That is really doing people a disservice. And this is why, because they're not going to get the transformation that you're talking about in said email or social media or blog post. They're not going to feel as connected. They're not going to feel the power of that particular process, because it's something that you've created around. It's something that you do. And that's why they need you, because they need you to help them do it. They need the accountability. They need the support. So just be careful that when you're writing, and trying to give all this value, if you overstep and give the exact, I think you can do X, Y, Z, and you can improve this. You could be doing a disservice to someone who actually probably would be better off buying your product or service, or at least booking a free call to experience, oh, okay, now I see the power of this. Now I feel this. Now I understand how this transformation is supposed to work, as opposed to, well, I don't need to spend the money. I could do it myself. And in the end, they do nothing and they get no benefits. So there is this fine line. And I'm happy to help you here in the group to, if you ever want feedback, you're always welcome to post, stuff that you're working on, stuff that you want to share. Okay. So I'll wait a second here. It looks like Sherry's still here, maybe one other person. If you have a question, let me know. If not, I'll go on to the next point. Okay. You don't think it has the same energy either. Okay, thanks, Sherry. All right, so the next thing that you probably should do is really look at what differentiates you from other people, and have some kind of a bio or just some sort of series of statements or bullet points about why working with you is going to really help your people transform. So this could also be called Why Work With Me, or here's what I want you to know about the level of my work and how I'm unlike every other coach out there. Again, differentiating yourself, showing the audience, showing all the people that are coming into your sphere what makes you so special. And you are special. You are different. You're not going to do, even if you did the same exact thing as me, your transformation is going to be just as powerful in your way, right? So this is also about building credibility and talking about your credibility, talking about why you're committed to this work and why people need to take notice. So I'm just going to read you mine as an example. And then, again, this would be something really great for you to look at. So, like I say, not every coach has both 25 years of proven experience working for some of the world's most recognizable brands. I've worked for E! Entertainment Television, Paramount Pictures, Disney, Perry Ellis, Citrix Online, Laundry by Sally Siegel, the list goes on. And I also have a PhD in mythological studies in my hand. So I've done the work, right? So that's a good statement right there. That's a very persuasive statement. I can't tell you probably how many people have told me they hire me because of that statement, because of my experience and because of my PhD. You don't need a PhD to have credibility, by the way, or any sort of certifications. It could be totally your life and work experience. But it's all about how you talk about that, how you put that out there. So another one is I've written email newsletters and automation series for corporate clients and entrepreneurs that raised over $1 million in revenue within 9 to 12 months. I once wrote a single newsletter that brought in 500,000 within 72 hours. That was like, amazing. So again, that has a little bit to do with also list size and list building, because we know sales and conversions are a numbers game, right? And that's another class. So I could also say that I've been devotedly studying and practicing and applying the wisdom of tarot, astrology, and esoteric magic since age 12. It is amazing. Thanks, Sherry. I understand that my clients have a lot of demands on their time. They're working their businesses, they take care of their families, their children, their animals. And my people generally can't sit around all day journaling and meditating. So when I do classes, when I do one-on-one, I try to create a container that's always connected to my clients, and give them what they need in ways that are not overwhelming to them, that ways that don't make them do more work, because they can't do more work, right? That's not what they can do. And it depends, of course, it totally depends on what you're providing, but that's, again, a point that a lot of people like, wow, yeah, I'm a very busy businesswoman. I'm a CEO and I'm running a household and I'm doing all these things. I have all these side hustles. So I just need you to help me tap into that goddess energy so I don't go into burnout and overwhelm, right? That's what people hire me for, a big part of it. Yeah, and so I don't assign unnecessary homework that creates even more overwhelm. So that kind of feeds into that same point. So before I jump off, I forgot to mention CTA, call to action messages. So those are usually, so here's some examples: book a call, sign up for this class, buy now, click here to buy now, click here to purchase, click here to learn more, click here to reach out to me, email me at this address and let me know that you would like to know more about this program, this retreat, this workshop, whatever it is you're doing. So that's, and it's also, I feel like a call to action too is in some way asking for permission, even though you're telling them what to do. It's in a way giving them permission to reach out to you, giving them permission to come into your world, right? And for, come into your world and you to come into their world, right? You don't want to just, barge in the door and be like, hey, I'm here and I've got this XYZ thing to sell you. That's not what you want to do, right? We're inviting people, we're enticing them. We're like the mermaids, seducing and magnetizing through our words, right? Our words are a magic spell. Anyways, that's the talk I wanted to give today. And yeah, so if you want examples of your core outcomes, examples of your headlines and subject lines and topics that you'd like to write about, if you want to write out your calls to action that you want to use on social media, and then if you have email in your email and on your blog, remember, wherever you're distributing your content, you need those major pieces of those components in your content to really be effective at getting people into your world, into your product, whatever it is that you do, okay? Any last questions before I jump off? Okay. You can always post questions as we go throughout the week. And I would love to know more about what you want to learn about. It sounds like Sierra wants more about automated emails. So I will definitely put something together. And I'm going to try to do, this is what I would love to do, is do a free class here every couple of weeks. So maybe twice a month, one maybe something at the beginning and something at the end of the month. And if I do more, I do more. But do let me know, what you want to learn about. It could be anything, goddesses, and, business stuff obviously is in my wheelhouse. Anything about writing, emails, social media, website stuff. Be fun for us all to do a website audit together, for those of you that have websites. So we'll do more classes together like this. And as always, we like to bring in the goddess, bring in the sacred, right? because it's all connected, and bringing the pleasure, it's connected to business and business success for sure. Sherry, no questions, but you have a lot to think about now. Good. And you need to be relatable to a diverse group without running on and on. What, can you say more about that? What you mean by that, Sherry? I'll wait for a minute, let you type. I also want to tell you guys, we have a full moon tomorrow, the first of 2 full moons in Aquarius. So my Aquarius people in the house, and then the Leos, that's the opposite sign. So that's going to be churning up stuff in your Leo relationship world for Leos, okay? For Aquarius, you're definitely going to feel lit up, feel very energized, feel excited. It's definitely going to be a nice manifestation coming in for you, Aquarians. I'm happy to say I feel that strongly. But remember, stay in your power, step into your power, stay aligned with your purpose, stay aligned with what brings you joy and pleasure and happiness. That's basically one of the best ways to stay aligned. Okay, Sherry. Yeah, they all want it brief. Okay. Yeah. Well, post anything that you want us to all check out, and I'll probably start a post, you know, like once a week, where people can talk about what they're offering, and you know, there might be people in the group that want what you have to offer, or you might want them to share something with their friends, share something on social media, maybe share a special blog post or something that you've written that you really want people to hear about. So we will have all of that. Like I said, I'm grabbing my beautiful VA, Lisa, to really help me out more and be, you know, actively putting out content in this group that's of value to you. All right, beautifuls. Sending you so much love and light, and really celebrate this full moon, okay? Bye for now.